On the topic of civility, I just wanted to go through and read the definition that our book has. On page 273, it says the use of tact when dealing with others, and it also says that civility is a genuine and reciprocal expression of respect for ourselves and other people through our actions and statements. That can be found on page 273 of our book for this class. Quite honestly, I think that I'm very disappointed by the world today and even the people that I work with, whether it's a believer or non-believer. I think that the tact that people use and the respect that people have for those around them when they're communicating with them and interacting with them, whether that's face-to-face, over media or cyberspace, whether it's email, whatever that could be, whether it's through text or phone call, whatever that is. I think it's pretty disappointing to see how many people interact with each other. And I think specifically what really hit my heart was watching the YouTube video of Christine Week, I believe was her name, when she interrupted the Muslim capital day in Texas. There's a whole lot of things that we could discuss about that. The whole Christian aspect of that. Like, she's a prime example of why people hate Christians and why people think Christians are bigots, and just the radical side of Christians. That every religion has radicals. So that's just one side that we could take with it. But the idea of civility within the context of that video that we saw, very, very clear, very easy example for us to look at and say, well, obviously she's not very tactful, she's not very respectable or respectful to those around her who she was dealing with, the Muslim population. Just incredibly rude. Just to walk up and interrupt a big deal for the Muslim population. Not saying that I condone or agree with their beliefs, but on the basis of equal rights for humans and just the civility, not appropriate. And then even something that I deal with quite often, the book talks about when dealing with others. That's when civility is there. And I think that dealing with others is face-to-face, but also when we're dealing with others through email or phone or text, or even when I'm dealing with someone outside of the conversation I'm having with the person next to me. This could be known as gossip, or if we're just talking about someone. I've noticed that people are much more bold when, say, Zach is talking to me about Ron rather than talking to Ron about himself. People, or even for myself, I'm much more bold about the things I feel are going on, even at my own workplace, when I'm talking to my coworkers rather than when I'm talking to the people in HR or the people that are above me, the plant manager, etc., things like that. People are a lot more disrespectful when they're not talking to the person face to face. It's a lot easier for us to get extremely angry or upset or frustrated and express those feelings, whether that's over email or Facebook, which we see countless times. People going on rants, as we like to call them, and just complaining about whether it's a major thing or a minor thing. Obviously, dealing with that over Facebook is not the right outlet for that, but we see that countless times. That's a prime example. But even over text with people, getting upset with people, just blowing up at them through a text because we don't have to deal with the consequences of our actions in person. Because then when we see them the next day, we can pretend like nothing happened because we said it to them, but we didn't actually say it to them in person. So they know what we're thinking for sure, but they don't know how we actually feel like that in person. And it's easier for us to cover up. We can be like, oh yeah, like I said that, but I'm not going to act like that to you. It allows us to be a lot more two-faced, which is not respectable at all. If we're going to have genuine relationships and authentic and prosperous relationships, we can't be living like that. So those are just some of my thoughts about some of the problems that I see with people and their, for this instance, civility, how they respect people, how they interact with people, and just some of my own frustrations that I see in my own life, some of the things that I see around me.